In the Set of Blade video, we will be breaking down everything you need to know about this game's world, characters, combat, and more. Set of Blade is an upcoming single-player hack and slash RPG developed by Shipped Up Studio and published by Sony Entertainment. In this game, you will be introduced to a huge world with great bosses, enemies, and interesting characters that you will encounter on your journey playing through Stellar World. Oh, and let's not forget the very depth combat system that Shift Up Studio has created, making this game a must play, as this game will be in the race for possibly Game of the Year, something I don't believe any of us expected to see. Okay, so now let's talk about the massive world in Stellar Blade for just a second. So Stellar Blade takes place in a post-apocalyptic world that has been invaded by robots and aliens. As this world is being overrun by beings out of this world, there are two companions that will be quite important to the story who are survivors in the main story campaign. The first being an engineer named Lily, who is there to support you upgrading your equipment, and also you will find yourself with a gentleman by the name of Adam that will help you in guiding you through the world of Zion. The city of Zion is a full-functioning city that will serve as a hub for you, but you will soon realize that once you step away from the city of Zion, how everything surrounding it is nothing but a wasteland and full of destruction, giving you a slight glimpse of the destruction and how the invaders have changed things so much. So most of the survivors of Earth will have trouble trusting, as they will have lost so much due to the invaders, but as time goes on, they will eventually begin to trust you with time, as they will see you are a good person fighting for a good cause. So the cool thing about the game is that Eve is also somewhat robot-like with little to no emotion, but as the story progresses, she will find herself having human-like emotion and expressions, which at the time will feel foreign to her. So the great thing about the game is that you will get your money's worth with this title, as there is more than 25 hours of story and more than 50 hours of side missions and additional content that you can do as your heart desires, and will definitely keep you busy for some time. As you start to get comfortable with the game, you will be given options to change the difficulty as your heart desires. So don't be afraid to put in on the hardest difficulty if you are looking for a challenge, as you at any point can change it. There will be many side quests available, some that might even help you in gaining the trust of the people of Zion. Some of these quests might even be as simple as searching for a nice cat or collecting vital and hyper energy cells for the people in Zion. As you progress through the story and complete side quests, you will have a merchant that you can sell and purchase items from to help you on your quest. And the more you do, the better the options are available to you at your disposal. As you are traversing through the world of Stellar Blade, you will run into various campgrounds that will serve as checkpoints through your journey, where you can rest and replenish some of your lost energy, and also save your progress. Aside from just purchasing items from merchants, you will also have a vending machine throughout the world in which you can use to purchase items and upgrade various aspects of your combat. Also, don't worry, it won't just be walking as a form of traversal, as while we can speculate, you will be given the ability to use your sword, similar to riding a skateboard, double jumping, swinging across poles, as we might be able to conclude thus far. There might be more ways to traverse the world of Stellar Blade still to be uncovered, but it is good to see that there is other ways to move around in the world of Stellar Blade. Oh, and let's not forget, you have a scanner drone companion that will help you solve puzzles and uncover hidden areas within the world. Okay, so now to talk a little bit about the character customization. I believe the ability to customize your character is one of those aspects of gaming that allows one to express themselves, as it is something I believe us gamers look forward to when taking the time to navigate the world. And here with Stellar Blade, they don't fall short, as you will have more than 30 different costumes to choose from. And that's not to say there won't be more added on later on after the game is released. So you will be able to wear something you think is cool. The best part is that, as with other games, having really great stats on other pieces of gear can sometimes force you into designing your character a way you don't like as much, simply because of the stats you have on certain gear. But here in this game, you will have the freedom to customize your character without having to worry about the stats on your build being interrupted. I am truly excited to see the combinations of designs this game has to offer. Before we get into the combat overview, here, if you want a full combat guide to master the gameplay, check out Mad Gamer's full breakdown after this video. Alright, so now to talk a little bit about combat and what's to be expected. As for combat, you will have different ways you can attack. You will have your basic attack and your heavy attacks. You will also have the ability to dodge and also parry. As you go about fighting off enemies, there are enemies that will have different patterns on how they go about attacking you. There will be certain moves that can be blocked and others that will need to be avoided or parried to avoid acquiring damage. In the game, you will be given the choice to craft unique fighting styles that fits your playstyle and different choices of combo strings you can unleash on your enemy. Other ways you can attack besides just typical hack and slash will be the throwable grenades and also the equipment of a gun that you will have to mix up your playstyle a bit and give the player a little bit more diversity when approaching the different enemy types across the world of Stellar Blade. Alright, so now to talk a little bit about the HUD and a bit surrounding the skill tree in which you can upgrade over time to fit your needs. So as for the HUD, so on the bottom left you will have 3 bars, one for HP, BE, and SH. So don't worry about the abbreviations as we talk a bit as to what each one means. So HP is going to be your health bar, which will be affected when hit. The amount of damage your character takes will vary upon attack and also how much shield your character has. So that leads me into my next bar displayed, which is your SH, which means your shield. The shield bar protects you from taking max damage as it serves to reduce the damage taken. This bar is very important as it will help you last longer in fights as your shield will be used to absorb damage. So try not to get your shield completely broken. So last but not least, the last bar on your left is BE, which stands for beta energy. Your beta energy will be restored when parrying and attacking enemies. This is important as this will help you in gaining access to special moves you can learn and attach to your character from the skill tree, which we will discuss next. So on the bottom right, you have access to what we call beta special moves, which adds a layer to your combat which you can access at any time during combat. Using these beta special moves will use up your beta energy, so once your beta energy is depleted, you will have to attack and parry your enemy to regain access to your beta moves. This prevents players from spamming special attacks. Aside from your beta moves serving as an extension to your combat, you have at the bottom left the option to use heal potions and different types of grenades and guns, etc. that you can add and gain access to when purchasing equipment at the campsites. So don't be afraid to give it a shot by using your D-pad to use the equipment. You will also be given the option to upgrade Eve's drone and exospine and have gear slots that can help with armor stats, attack power, etc. Okay, so now that we got the HUD out the way, let's talk quickly about the skill tree. So with the skill tree, we have multiple branches that will make up the skill tree, which will be beta, which will be used for your beta skills, attack, which will help you with learning combos and stronger attacks, and survival, which is used to help with beta energy, health, and moves that can help when evading and parrying your enemy. There looks to be more branches aside from the 3, but we would just have to wait and see. So by now you might be asking yourself, with all these options with combat, how difficult or diverse are the enemies? Not to worry, as we got you covered. In Stellar Blade, there is many different kinds of enemy types, from very small dog-like creatures to very huge creatures that are quick, and some can even go invisible. So there's a lot to be had with the variety of enemy types, which makes sense as to why there are so many different types of ways to upgrading your skills and gear. This game relies heavily on the parry system, as enemies will have their health bar, shield bar, and a small bar which shows how many times an enemy can be parried before giving you the ability to unleash a devastating blow that will be sure to do immense damage. Some enemies will have some attacks that can't be blocked or parried, but instead evaded, allowing you, if evade is timed perfectly, the ability for an opening to counter and do damage. If you guys have made it this far, Stellar Blade releases on April 26th on PlayStation 5. Let me know what has you guys most excited about Stellar Blade down in the comments below. If you guys are looking for more Stellar Blade, there should be a combat guide popping up now. And feel free to go check that out, as this concludes all the essential things you need to know going into Stellar Blade. I'm your host, Cloudy Chip TV, and this has been brought to you by Mad Gamer Inc. Thanks for watching.